Welcome back. Let's play some 10-minute games here on Shogi Wars. Good luck. If there are loose pieces, you won't be stuck looking for a move. It is a lot easier to find candidate moves if pieces are just freely hanging about. Rather, if your opponent's pieces are easy targets. So, yeah, I keep delaying choosing where to move the rook. We finally selected a file for the rook. Here we've built half Mino Castle. Um, hmm. Why does this move always surprise me? I don't understand. Hmm. This is a shape, right? Am I forgetting my shapes? Um, Maybe this is not the right shape to play here. So I have loose pieces. I'm playing a shape I've seen opponents play against me. Um, Although I'm missing the pawn on my rook's head, but is that a problem? I'm not sure. Oh, generally I play my right fourth file pawn to blunt this diagonal. I'm not sure why I didn't build Mino and high Mino and all that here, since usually that's what I do. Why didn't I do it this time? Hmm. Well, we'll take our chances here. Do I do knight takes? Do I have something better? I mean, there's no rush to do knight takes, right? Knight takes, pawn drop. The knight jumps and hits my bishop. I hit that. I've seen worse, I've seen better. Um, hmm. All right, we'll try this. I'm not sure why. I feel as if something's happening on this diagonal, but it's difficult to read. So I'm going to play this simple attack and hope that it's effective. In chess, if you're making up openings, you get toasted quite quickly. Um, Maybe this is also true when you're proficient enough in shogi, and maybe I'm just too much of a beginner to know the difference. But it seems like aggression is frequently rewarded, um, even when you're not certain about what you're doing. Pawn takes, I'm not sure if I just dodge it. Okay, it's interesting too. I could completely retreat here. I could take the knight. I could go up one, silver up. I take, they take, I take a rook. I could go over. That's interesting. Um, hmm. If I remove here, silver takes, I take here, pawn drop. No, the silver's hanging. No, let's try this. This looks interesting. One thing to consider, um, among many, is what is my opponent's plan? So it might be difficult to form your own plan, but if you can see what your opponent is up to, maybe that might help inform what you should be doing.
7分。
Um, hmm. So I'm trying to take the knight and take the rook and take the silver and the pawn and the gold and so forth. Um, hmm. Interesting. Bishop takes, gold takes, pawn takes. It's not enough. Hmm. I could have sworn I'd have something here. I'm not seeing an amazing tactic. Maybe I'm just not looking correctly.
5分。
Hmm. What to do? I'm just surprised I'm not seeing something amazing here. Um, this looks okay. We'll do it. I still can't help but wonder. Surely there's something better, but um, whatever. So if we exchange rooks, I can drop a rook, hitting this gold and hitting the lance. This pawn is still hanging, so that's possible. Also possible is just bishop takes, which hits the silver. That way, like, this fork doesn't result in silver up, trapping my lance, or bishop. But if they do block my bishop, I can pawn drop and still end up taking here. So the rook drop is really strong. Hmm. Yeah, this sequence is not intuitive. It's not simple. Bishop takes was actually a pretty strong candidate. It just doesn't seem quite good enough. Hmm. Oh, I guess I should elaborate that when you're considering committing to playing a move, and if you have the time to think about the consequences of what you're doing, um, like part of that reasoning, part of that time management skill is um, making evaluating the position that you started from and the position at the end of your variation and seeing if you're happy if these two evaluations reconcile with each other. Like if you think you're completely winning, find a winning move. Unless you are in dire time pressure and there's just absolutely no opportunity to play the game. In which case, if you find that happening to you, maybe you're not playing the game. I don't know, maybe you're playing something other than Shogi. If you just routinely end up in this dire time pressure where you're never afforded the ability to think. Um, like, you can't have that happen to you every game and then just say, well, I'm going to chalk that up to I just didn't have time to think. Just move on and not worry about it ever. Like, it's somewhat concerning, I think, if you're trying to play the game, but you never get to play. Um, it's just sad, rather. Um, okay, so I have an idea. Dot, dot. Well, let's try my idea. Pawn drop is happening, but after pawn drop, I have pawn drop as well. So I'm threatening to take this knight twice. It's not so easy to permanently shut that attack down. Sure, I could have taken a gold general, but that's not what I wanted. I want the king. There's time to take other pieces in other games. The challenge is what if they start doing things like bishop drop here, bishop drop there, pawn drop, whatever. Like, what if I end up exchanging a rook for one or more pieces here? I think that's going to be okay because I think this shape is somewhat fragile. I can be wrong. And if I am, I'll face the consequences. Mm-hmm. That's a cool move.
3分。
Wow, that's a really cool move. Um, puts my monologue to shame. All right, so I'm gonna chicken out. Yeah, they can connect their gold generals, and they have other pawn drops that are possible. And this slows down my attack. At least it seems to. I'm still threatening pawn drop, pawn push, and starting to take this stuff, but it's slower. Thankfully, my opponent does not have a knight, so they can't, like, bishop on the center diagonal and then knight drop here and gold drop. Because I've got all the knights, or I've got two knights from the left side of the board from earlier. Um, but yeah, my opponent might have a series of easier to find moves here because my position is somewhat loose, because I never completed my castle. I attacked before I could do that. Um, well,
2分30秒。
sharp stuff. Um, I, that's unexpected. It's hard to refute. Um,
2
hmm.
分。
So I'm hitting the castle on its top and its bottom, but maybe I sacrificed too much here. Um, hmm. That's a cool move.
1分30秒。
Hmm.
1分。
Well, this is going to be a bit awkward, isn't it? Oh, it's not made. But this is. Thanks for the game. One down, two to go. Good luck. Alright, I activate my rook. Okay. This is not the most common opening ever. Right, so, like I was saying, this is an interesting opening. Um, now, am I playing Gota with initiative here? Is that right? Let's just tuck the king up here. Yeah, I am Gota, and somehow I got initiative. So I'm not playing it right, or I'm just fortunate. Not sure how that happened. Hmm. I guess my shape is somewhat brittle. Okay, well... Giving a lance is a bit risky. Um, Alright, let's just do this and then push the edge. Have I trapped my rook? I've probably trapped my rook. Well, neither of us saw that, so it doesn't count. Um, I could still sack the rook over here. That could be fun. I'm not sure if it's fun enough to justify doing, but... Hmm. Hmm. It sure looks fun. I just need one more piece. Whatever, let's try it. How bad can it be? Hmm. A lance might be just what I need here, actually, if they exchange this here. Um,
7分、
looks like I'm getting the rook. I'm not sure that the rook was my goal, but like if I silver drop, they have to do something. If I take this instead, they move this gold. That's different. Um, man, where's my winning attack? I could go here and then chase the silver. That could be interesting. Horse, gold, horse, rook. It's not free. Wait, I'm not threatening mate in 1 if they do rook takes. Just kidding. I thought I had mate in 1 there. Um, Fine. We'll start with this instead. Hmm. Hmm. I might be in. Wait, I could have retreated my horse.
5
Maybe I
分、
needed to do that. Yeah, I think I misjudged everything about this position. Um, Good to know now. Better to know earlier. So, I guess I run. Running's a bit tricky. Oh, right. The bishop can help chase my king too. Um, let's cut the bishop's line. Nice. Nicely spotted. Wait, how does this work? Ah, all right. Let's see the final position, shall we? Thanks for the game. 2 down, 1 to go. Good luck. So, yeah, it's true that other streamers do a traditional greeting in another language. The same people who protest that like there aren't enough resources in English. Anyway, um, they'll insist every game on doing this traditional greeting. I use a Western greeting because I'm from the West. Sure, I could do a traditional greeting, but I have hope that our culture, I don't know, we can have a interesting cultural intersect or intersection and make the best of what both worlds have to offer. If I bring this silver up, I'm not in time to hit the bishop. Therefore, I have to open this diagonal. That said, now that the diagonal's open, I might as well make use of everything I've got here. So let's go. This looks interesting. All right. So I take a piece, you take a piece, I take a piece, you take a piece. Mm-hmm. Um, do I take the rook now? No. I don't need to take the rook to shut it down. I have pawns. Pawns can block a line. Um, this proverb could be revised. Um, if it were revised, it could explain a few other phenomena, such as like heavy pieces can be chased around by lighter pieces. Yeah, the rook was hanging, and that's part of it. Or the dragon was hanging in the corner, but it's also interesting to note, like, a bishop and a king and a rook, and to a lesser extent a gold general, are all targets. Silver, to even lesser extent, is still a target. So, yeah, if you were to revise the proverb, it could start enumerating what do you aim at when you're trying to make a new attack. I could push 5-5. They push this. I don't know. Yeah.
7
Okay.
分、
I kind of have to push this. And my opponent's going to push this pawn, and stuff's going to happen. Knight drop is interesting. Nullifying the bishop before any other things happen. Yeah, okay, let's do this. I'm not giving up the 5-5 square without a fight. I might still give it up, but we're going to fight for it. This way I don't hang a silver and some tactic. Now they could do pawn takes, pawn takes, pawn takes. Sure. But there are things I can take as well. Silver takes, pawn takes. It's a mess. But I can't avoid this mess. Can I? Actually, yeah, this seems to dodge the brunt of the tactics in this situation. And even if they line up their bishop, it's not like I'm giving away a bishop or something. Okay. Interesting. Everything's hanging, guys. Don't worry about it. Everything is hanging. Um, but I think it's okay.
5分、
I'm attacking a silver. Um, hmm. Hmm. What a mess. Okay, this is fine. Right? Maybe? If there's hanging pieces, you won't be stuck finding a move. I feel a bit stuck, though. Um, hmm. 'At night. Interesting.
3分、
Okay. We're lining up the tactic, guys. This is totally safe and definitely won't backfire. Um,
2分30秒。
hmm. 'Do I need rooks? Did I say I needed a rook to win this? Maybe I do. Hi, this is going to be a long game where I don't have much time to make all my moves. Um, a long game was like the last thing I wanted here, but it seems a bit difficult to capture four generals between my rook and the king. And what else can I do?
1分30秒。
I'm thinking, all right.
1分、
I had pawn drop. There was no need to put the lance there. I'm not sure if silver drop mates. The fact that my opponent isn't dropping here suggests that it's not enough. Hmm.
30秒。
Thanks for the game. Alright, that's 3 games. Thanks for watching, and have a good day.